Hello, everyone, and welcome back to League One predictions. We are back again predicting the third tier of English football. We've got 12 games coming this weekend, and we will do quick-fire predictions for the midweek games next week because we've got a few to catch up on. I'm joined, as always, by the brilliant Benjamin Bloom. How are you?
I feel like I'm in a washing machine, mate, with some of these 3-game weeks. It's like we do the predictions on Monday and then there's just a whole another 12 games and a round completed the next day. But we're trying to keep up, and a couple of big results up at the top of the League One table.
Yeah, which takes us to our predictions from last time, Ben, which was Matt 4, Ben 4. We both 4. Yeah, we both ran right into the fence there and didn't get over the hurdle. There you go. So it's a draw, but it means Ben holds his 8-point lead overall. I really do need to catch up. Guys, play along with us. Get your predictions down below. We're always intrigued to see what you guys have to say. And I will say as well, Ben, quite a few Birmingham fans last video did warn us that they were a bit worried about Bolton away, and they were right. Yeah, so share your predictions. Let's see if your insight is correct again. Make sure to drop a like and support the video. Thank you once again to those of you guys that do get involved. Be sure to subscribe over here and make sure you do subscribe to the first link in the description to head over to Benjamin Bloom's channel as well. Let's get into the League One predictions, Ben. I will let you go first for Crawley versus Reading.
Feels like an away win, doesn't it, Matt? Feels like Crawley have had a little splurge. Actually, didn't Scott Lindsay, has he left MK now? So that's all. I hate it when that happens, when a team has a brilliant promotion, the manager gets picked off and then just does nothing whatsoever at the new club and is sacked like months later. But yeah, Crawley 7 points off it now, with Bristol Rovers getting a point. Reading are drawing a lot, but they're hard to beat, aren't they? So it definitely doesn't feel like a Crawley win. Feels like an away win, low margin. Crawley 0, Reading 1.
Okay, Crawley 0, Reading 1. I'm going to have to think outside the box here, Ben. I was thinking you would go for the Reading win, and it's brave, but I'm going to go for Crawley. I'm going to go 1-0 to Crawley Town just to try and get some...
This is just pure housery, no logic.
Yeah, I just think if I'm going to catch up, Ben, I'm going to have to go for some rogue shouts. And I want a grenade down at the bottom. I want things to explode, and I want some life, and I want some traction. I will point out that Crawley play Shrewsbury on the final day of the season, but there could be nothing riding on it.
Too late normally, isn't it? Round 46, yeah.
That's the current bottom two, but they both need to trend up for that game to be juicy. Reading drew 0-0 in midweek, bit of a missed opportunity that. Crawley lost at Lincoln. They did take the lead, but I will go for Crawley to get a bounce back with not much logic attached. 1-0 to Crawley, and Ben's got 1-0 to Reading. And Ben, we move on to Stockport County versus Charlton, a massive game in the playoff race. Now, Stockport in midweek, Ben, only managed a draw away at Northampton, and if we are going to try and include them in the top 2 race, that's definitely 2 points got away from them, with Wrexham and Wycombe picking up wins in midweek. Charlton Athletic beat Barnsley 1-0, as you predicted, Ben. And this is difficult. I'm tempted to go for the draw, but I think I'm going to go for home advantage. And I would go for home advantage if Charlton were at home as well. But it's Stockport at home, and I'm going to go for a decisive 1-0 Stockport.
Yeah, and we mentioned, Matt, at the weekend, Stockport bringing the sub in, scoring twice. Same again. Andresen, he's 19, Icelandic guy. I want to hear from the Stockport fans about this guy, because if you're coming off the bench and scoring 3 goals in about the space of 60, 70 minutes of game time, they're going to be, thinking about him in from the start, and looks a great player, Andresen. Well, I'll take the draw then, Matt. It does have the air of immovable object. What's the saying? Irresistible
Unstoppable force. Yeah.
Unstoppable force, immovable object. There you go. So yeah, I'll take the 1-1, Matt. Really like both teams. Charlton have it just on the form, but then you're right, home advantage with Stockport. So go 1-1.
Are we counting these two in the automatic race, Ben? Because I suppose if we're counting Stockport, we've got to count Charlton, who are 2 points behind, but with a game in hand on Stockport, I guess.
Well, you love a points projection. What have Wycombe done in the last 6? 3,
They're projecting 90, 9. By the way.
Okay. Well, it's not out of the realms of possibility. that someone could chase a 90. They probably need a tail off from Wycombe, but the goals dried up a bit for Wycombe as well. So yeah, we might be able to count them in on the basis that there was going to be a regression to the mean. Well, didn't Wycombe win like 11 on the trot or something? That was, do you know what I mean? That's what their season's amazing run propped up on now, and they've got to see it through now, haven't they?
Exactly that. It could be that 90 is a slightly false figure. If you go off form, it might be 87, 86 potentially. We move on to Oakwell, Ben, where you are up first for Barnsley versus Blackpool. Smells like goals.
Okay, so Charlton beat Barnsley. Barnsley is so up and down, aren't they? Just down out of the playoffs, then 3 wins on the bounce, defeat again. Blackpool are they not the draw specialists, Matt? 15 draws, my God. I mean, you say it smells of goals, doesn't it smell of a draw? I've just taken a 1-1, Matt, and people say it's the most boring prediction, but I'm going back-to-back 1-1s here. Barnsley 1, Blackpool 1 for that reason. Well, Barnsley never draw, but what are you going to do?
I like it. I was tempted to go with the draw, but I noticed, I think I've referenced this last time, a lot of Blackpool's draws have come at home, Ben.
Okay.
So they've drawn 11 at home in 16 home games, which is incredible. I might just back Barnsley.
Blackpool season ticket holders, get in the comments on your 11 draws you've witnessed this season. I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, honestly. I was tempted to call their manager Steve Deuce. I'm going to go... Sorry, it's terrible. Terrible dad joke. I'm going to go Barnsley 2-1. I'm going to go Barnsley 2-1. I'll back them to bounce back.
Mate, you just need to hang your head in shame after Steve Deuce. No more predictions from you.
Terrible, isn't it? I'm hoping the viewers will just ignore
terrible.
that.
It was brilliant.
But my logic with Barnsley, Ben, is there's no logic. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. They lost last time. I'll back them to win. They've got potentially more to play for if you look at the table. So Barnsley 2-1 and a 1-1 draw. And then we move on to St Andrews, Ben, for Birmingham City versus Lincoln. And do you know your history quite well? Because what happened in the year 476 AD?
Was it the last time Birmingham lost a game?
Yeah, about right. It was the fall of the Roman Empire, Ben. Is that what we're about to witness here? No, I'm not going to jump on this. I will credit those Birmingham City fans who really did see this coming. There was quite a few of them in the comments of the last video saying, I'm not sure about this. A couple players missing and Bolton have been in good form. I think now, though, Ben, so long as they get a clean sheet, they get the win here. And I think they go back to basics. Going to go Birmingham 1-0.
Was it me? It was you first on that one, wasn't it? We haven't flipped it around.
Yeah, I was first on Birmingham.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, we both missed it. We both bottled it. We kind of thought about it, and then after it happened, you're like, oh, why didn't I call it? And what I will say, Matt, I heard Stephen Schumacher's interview afterwards, and he said he was pleased with how brave his team were, that they actually pressed Birmingham. And I think what we've got now is everyone knows that Birmingham are way better than everybody else. And it's just low block. Can we get a 0-0? Can we just stay in the game or whatever? And I don't think most of the teams have got especially Bolton at home with the quality, I don't think most of the teams have got the kind of bravery to do that. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute Lincoln should now go to St Andrews and, be pressing Birmingham when they're playing out from the back. That will not end well. But not all teams can do what Bolton did last night. So fair play, because they went behind as well. And, Birmingham have been so devastating. But they barely conceded any goals in that run. And so to concede 3 in one game is something. I'm interested to know the Birmingham fans' thoughts, Matt. Is it almost a good thing that with 13 to go, 18 unbeaten, coasting the league, is it almost a good thing to just throw a defeat in there, refocus the players, unbeaten run ends? And they won't say it publicly, but I bet behind closed doors it'll be, right, unbeaten now until the end of the season. Let's go again. And it may not be the worst thing in the world in terms of coasting, but I'm sure we'll get a lot of 4-0s, 5-0s in the predictions, the big reaction, but they haven't been like that massively, Birmingham, have they? So I'll go 2-0 if you've gone 1-0, Matt.
Yeah, I like that. And obviously credit to Lincoln because they got a great a 4-1 win against Crawley Town in midweek, but this is Birmingham City, and maybe the worst time to play them, actually, Ben, on the back of a defeat.
Totally agree. Absolutely the worst time possible to play them, yeah.
We move on to the next one then, Ben, and Huddersfield Town go away to that massive Bristol Rovers fan base. Where are we going with this, Ben? Bristol Rovers, obviously, we touched on Steve Evans' comments about them last time. They drew 0-0 with Shrewsbury, Ben, which is looking like a much better result for them than for Shrewsbury. Huddersfield Town, Ben, they're just not consistent, are they?
I mean, it was Wrexham, wasn't it, to be fair?
I know. I'm just looking at the form as well. I know they lost to Wrexham. I think it's the home advantage, Ben, and the fact it's 3 defeats in 4. Plus, I was doing a little bit of maths before the video, and you know how we said Wycombe projecting about 90? If Huddersfield win all 11 of their remaining games, they get 91. So that's for them to get top 2. They have to win everything. So it looks like it's going to be playoffs now, Ben. You're up first. Where are you going?
Yeah, Mike Duff was also really, I mean, it's not like he was really down, but he was really selling the fact that he's struggling to get the 11 he wants out on the pitch, and it's getting disrupted all of the time, and kind of playing that, I want to say playing that card because I like Mike Duff, but that was the messaging that was going out to the Huddersfield fans. Look, my hands are tied. I can't get a consistent lineup and a consistent 11. Hence, to your point, the inconsistency of the results. So I think Bristol Rovers might get something here. I know we've been having fun and games with comments made in the press and fan bases and whatnot, but I think they might get a draw. I know I've played a few already, but I'll play a Desmond because I played a couple of 1-1s. But yeah, I'm struggling. Huddersfield are really going to have to be online and bounce back well together and get the win.
So you go for the 2-2. I like it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, do you know what, Ben? I've also written down a draw. I'm going for the 1-1 here. So it might come as a little surprise to the viewers, but I'm just not totally sure if I trust Huddersfield, and Bristol Rovers have so much to play for down there, Ben. I mean, the draw at Shrewsbury is okay if they build on it. If they now lose this game, you know, it's a bad run of results and they're still sort of perilously hanging. And, you know, we said before the midweek games, Ben, that they would get away with not beating Shrewsbury because we didn't expect Burton to get something at Wycombe, but Burton might be able to pick something up in the next week or two. So, yeah, I'll go for a draw as well. 2-2 and 1-1. Speaking of Burton, Ben, they're up next, and it's another difficult game for them because they're taking on Bolton, who have just beaten Real Madrid, Birmingham City.
When's your Netflix comedy special coming out, mate? You're on fire today.
I know, I need to rein it in a little bit because I'm not doing well with the predictions. I need to take it more seriously. I've got to go for Bolton here, Ben. I have enjoyed Burton's resurgence and the pressure they're trying to apply on the 6 or 7 teams drawing above them, but yeah, Bolton, what a win. It'll give them a lot of confidence, and they're still just outside the playoffs, Ben, so they need to follow it up to get in there. I'll go Burton 0, Bolton 2.
Yeah, I'm going to back Bolton as well. I'll go for the 2-1. And I just want to say about Schumacher, in the cold light of day, a couple of years after it happened, Plymouth getting 101 points and beating. Look at what Ipswich then did the next season. And we know what the Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich spends were now because the accounts have come out. That was an extraordinary managerial job. And he's got a very good points tally as a League One manager, hasn't he, Stephen Schumacher? So, yeah, could be something there. But playoffs shaping up nice when I think about Wrexham and Stockport and Charlton, and you got Huddersfield in there, but Bolton coming strong. Sounds juicy, mate.
It certainly does. We're both back in Bolton. And go back to your point about Schumacher, Ben. We've both followed League One for a few years. Do you think over the last 5-10 years that'll be held up as the best achievement? You know, Plymouth doing so well and actually winning that league with over 100 points, considering the teams they were up against as well. I
think Ainsworth winning the playoffs and getting Wycombe out the first time was a hell of a task. It's difficult, isn't it, Matt? Because we have these debates every year about like manager of the year, where someone's got all the pressure on them, they're expected to win every week, and they win the title. And you're like, is that the manager of the season, or is it the manager who had a crap budget and he's way above? I suppose Schumacher did both really with Plymouth, didn't he? Overachieved and won the title. But yeah, it's a good question. Let's go to the comments on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and you touched on Gareth Ainsworth there, Ben. He's up next as Shrewsbury Town go away to Exeter City in another big game down at the bottom. So it's a really big week for Shrewsbury, this, playing Bristol Rovers and then Exeter. If they take 4 points from the two games, that's not bad. But if it's just 1 point from the two games, that's not very good and possibly curtains. They've drawn the Bristol Rovers game. They have to win this one now, surely, Ben. But what are you saying?
Well, it looks like that. I agree with your arm's length theory for Bristol Rovers that kind of applies to Exeter as well, that they've drawn against Northampton and they've drawn against Reading, and nobody else has really done anything. With Cambridge obviously had a win 2 rounds ago, but it's all right, isn't it? But they're still trending very alarmingly down. It would be very boring if it was another draw, but it's that same situation where draw doesn't massively hurt Exeter, whereas losing to Shrewsbury really does, doesn't it? Let's throw in one for the wild thing then. Exeter 0, Shrewsbury 1. Why not?
Oh, wow. I like that.
There's your grenade.
There you go. That is a grenade. You just touched on the draw. I'm going to go for the draw here. I'm going to play my second 1-1 of the day, which just kind of keeps the status quo. I just think it really does feel like curtains if Shrewsbury lose this. They've got to start winning now. But a draw kind of keeps it in limbo, but with a lot to do. And that's where I'm going with this. Much better result for Exeter that. So we've got a 1-0 Shrews and a 1-1 draw. Ben, Northampton Town are another team down there. They're away at Leyton Orient next. Northampton need to scrap the points still, but Leyton Orient, they need to go back to winning ways. We were just saying off camera that it's not just that they've come off the rails, but they're being taken back to the train shed there, the Orient Express. I'm going to back them here, Ben. They've got to win this, surely, Leyton Orient. I don't know. Northampton, it was a great draw against Stockport, wasn't it? I'll go Orient 1-0.
Yeah. I mean, we've been forecasting the bounce back. I mean, it'd be insane if they went... Because remind me, I think at the start of the season, it was kind of very bad. Then it was just extraordinarily good. If it goes back to very bad again, that's just so odd. Yeah, I'm going to back the win. To be honest, I'm expecting the bounce back. So it's probably going to be the next few games. I do predict Orient wins. So I go to Blackpool for the next one. But yeah, I'll go more comfortable than you then, Matt. I'll go 3-1. Orient 3, Northampton 1.
I like it. Chucking in a few goals. Do share your thoughts, Leyton Orient and Northampton fans, both with a lot to play for, with Orient being on the edges of the playoffs and Northampton 5 points clear of that bottom 4 now, following the good draw against Stockport. Ben, another team dangling above the drop are Peterborough United. They're at home to Wycombe. Wycombe still second. 2-0 win over Burton in midweek. Are you back in Wycombe again, or can Peterborough get another decent result?
Yeah, I'm going to back Wycombe, Matt. I'm just looking. If you can put the win at Huddersfield down to what I was saying about, availability of Huddersfield players, if I'm going to drink the Mike Duff potion that he's trying to feed me, then all the other results, Blackpool, okay, a draw, Stevenage, a draw. It's not been against teams up at the top of the table, has it? And let's be fair, Matt, 6 weeks ago, we'd have been calling this one, 3-0 Wycombe, wouldn't we? Comfortable win. So, yeah, I'll back Wycombe. Goals have dried up a little bit. I think Parkin did the game last night for Sky, so I haven't spoken to him. I'll get a read on Wycombe from him. I'll go 1-0. Posh 0, Wycombe 1.
Yeah, I like that. Thankfully, no scribbles, though. Peterborough 1, Wycombe 2 is where I'm going. So same sort of margin, but I'll chuck in a couple more goals for this one. Credit to Peterborough. They've definitely sort of given themselves a much better chance of avoiding the drop. And I think this is what we expected eventually, Ben, with the players and resources and manager they've got. They've started to pull away, but I just think this fixture is not the kindest. And Wycombe on a rampant run and just need to keep bashing out 3 points to stay clear of Wrexham. So we've got 2-1 and 1-0 Wycombe. We turn our attention, Ben, to Stevenage and Mansfield. A great win for Stevenage, by the way, because You know,
Brilliant.
I think we both backed Cambridge with the new manager bounce that they have been having under Neil Harris to beat Stevenage. But Stevenage went there and they won 1-0, Ben, but I think they dominated, if you look at the stats on that. And they take on Mansfield, who've turned their losing to draws, 2 draws in the last 2, but still no wins in
11.
11.
Yeah.
I was about to say 10, so 11. It's got to be a Stevenage win. I'll go 2-0.
Okay, I'll take the 1-0 Stevenage then. I echo everything you say. And talking about that debate we were having earlier, trying to measure achievements, how much of an achievement? Look, there's a 5-point gap up to Barnsley. Look, it came in hand, actually. Stevenage stopped there in 11th, given they're coming off the peak of 2 incredible seasons with Evans. And it's like, I know Ravel did the job before, but it's kind of his first full season at it, isn't it? That'd be a hell of an achievement, wouldn't it? So, yeah, fair play. Stevenage 1-0.
There you go, both back in Stevenage. Where are Stevenage, Ben? Can they still make the playoffs? No, 11 points. I've been hoping all season, but I think, to be honest, mid-table is an incredible achievement.
Amazing,
this season,
brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, we move on, Ben, to another big game down at the bottom. Feels like there's plenty of teams involved down there. Wigan Athletic versus Cambridge. And I'm happy you're going first for this one, Ben, because I'm not sure with Cambridge after midweek.
Yeah, and that's kind of dampened out. Even if Cambridge had got the draw against Stevenage, we're all on the new manager or the returning manager bounce and Chopper Harris flying them up the table. But yeah, that's, I don't know. Does it end there? Hopefully not for the Cambridge fans. Wigan don't lose many for lost 1 in the last 5, haven't they? They've got home advantage. I just don't think it's going to be a draw because I think he'll just kitchen sink it, Harris, won't he? I'm going to do it again because I really like him. Wigan 0, Cambridge 1.
There is a scribble.
You're going the same way, were you? Okay. I thought that was a big gamble, mate.
It is, but we're both gamblers, Ben. Wigan 0, Cambridge 1. Do you know what I might do then? I might go for the unhelpful draw for Cambridge. I'll go 0-0. I'll play a 0-0 here, which is kind of like, once again, what I said for Shrewsbury Exeter. It kind of keeps the status quo. Ultimately, because of the gap, Ben, the teams in the bottom 4 have to win these games now with games starting to run out. We said this is the run-in, 10 games to go. But I will go for a draw because if Wigan beat Cambridge, I mean, that is a massive result in the other direction, Ben. Wigan starting to look quite comfortable at that point. They could be 10 points clear. Cambridge currently 7 adrift, but it could get worse over the weekend. I'll go with the 0-0, which is I respect Neil Harris making them hard to beat. I'll say they just don't get the goal though. So there you go. I got the 0-0. And then the final game, Ben, Wrexham versus Rotherham United. I'm wondering what compliment Steve Evans is lining up for Wrexham here. Rotherham have picked up some good results. I know you were saying to me the numbers over the win against Leyton Orient. What was their XG? Sorry, Ben.
It was low. It was 0.6 or 0.5. Or to be fair, they had more shots on target, and I know we'll get certain people very triggered by the mere mention of the word XG. So we'll stop there.
Yeah. Wrexham, on the other hand, a 1-0 win as well in midweek. Massive
How
win.
many times has Fletcher
Huddersfield
come on and won the game for them as well?
Feels like a few, yeah.
That's a regular occurrence, isn't it?
They're not massive scorers, though, Wrexham, if you compare them to some of the other teams at the top. In fact, Wycombe have actually scored more than Birmingham, which I find quite interesting there. However, I haven't had a bonus point today, Ben, so shall we pull one out? Let's go. Wrexham 3, Rotherham 2.
Matt, this is our first recording in an afternoon for a while. We normally record in the morning, and you've gone all comedy on me. You've thrown out the bonus points. This is a side of Matt SB I didn't expect to see today. I mean this in the politest way. I don't think this is going to be one for the purists, is it? So I don't think there's going to be many goals, which is contrary to what you said. So I think Wrexham are going to win. Do I go for the boring 1-0? Let's go for a 2-0, but I think Phil Parkinson is doing what Steve Evans would quite like to do. Maybe Steve will go a bit more nefarious this time and say where he would be in the league with Phil Parkinson's budget. He's sometimes like that, but yeah, I think Wrexham get him. It's a big result for them to go to Huddersfield and win in the midweek, wasn't it, as well? So I think they go back to back. Did I say 1-0 or 2-0?
2-0.
Yeah, let's go 2-0. Stephen Fletcher's going to come off the bench and score the second goal, not the first goal. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Either way, a big win for Wrexham on the back of a big win against Huddersfield, and yeah, should be full of confidence, and we'll keep that top 2 race going. We quickly turn over, Ben, to some midweek games. I will let you go first for Birmingham City versus Stevenage.
3-0.
Oh, wow. 2-0 Birmingham. Blackpool, Cambridge. Deuce, 2-2.
Steve Deuce. Oh, my God. I think I've just got to keep backing Cambridge, haven't I? Just because it's amusing now. Blackpool 1, Cambridge 2.
Bristol Rovers, Bolton, Ben.
Rovers 0, Bolton 2.
Bristol Rovers 0, Bolton 1. Crawley, Charlton. I'll go Crawley 0, Charlton 1.
Yeah, scribble. 2-1 Charlton.
Ooh. Exeter, Mansfield, Ben.
Right. Let's go for the Mansfield win, because we've both predicted it not to happen, which will be 12. We don't want it to go 13. Let's go back to the good old days. Exeter 1, Mansfield 3. Yeah?
Oh, there you go.
You
Lucky
like
13. I'll go with Exeter then. Exeter 2, Mansfield 1. And finally, Reading, Wrexham. I will go Reading 1, Wrexham 1. I'll go for the draw.
0-0.
Love that. And what a way to finish the show. Guys, there you have it. That's our predictions for League One's games this weekend and the 6 games in midweek. We'll meet up and re-adjourn after all of that has played out. Be sure to play along with your predictions. Feel free to revisit the video after the weekend and get your predictions in for the midweek games. Thank you for joining me, Ben. What can people find on your channel? Have we got the Premier League check-in returning soon?
We should have the Premier League check-in from the noted comedian Matt SB will be joining me on the channel next week. Hopefully, we'll have something nice to talk about in a relegation sandwich with Milo Ipswich visiting Crystal Palace this week. So yeah, plenty going on, and yeah, thank you for all the support on the League One side, and yeah, loads to discuss down in the comments there.
Yes, be sure to get your comments in, get your predictions in, and like I say, drop a like on the video, but do subscribe over here and subscribe to Benjamin Bloom's channel. The first link in the description. Go check out his videos from this week. Be sure to get involved. And like I say, we'll be back with League One predictions next week. Take care, everyone. Peace out.